Alright, I'm going to continue with the toolpaths, but now on the airfoil bottom. So before you get started, make sure you have your airfoil bottom loaded up. And it's important that we orient the part in the same way we did for the top. In other words, the leading edge being going along this axis here. So when we set up our world coordinate system, we're not on the back corner, we're on the front corner. To help us out, I've opened up my extrude and just hovered over my sketch, and you can see when I do that I can just go ahead and click on that this is indeed the front edge of the wing. Okay, so if you remember, we went to reference geometry and created our own coordinate system. I got the orange dot and selected the origin there. Under the x-axis we want to select this orange line. Under the y-axis we want this orange line, and we want to make sure that our z is pointing up. Again, if that didn't go up for you, you can flip the orientation of the y. Now this is positive y, that's not what we want. If I flip it, this is positive y, positive z, and positive x, so we're good to go. Going back and going into our CAM tab, we can now add our toolpaths. We're going to go to the CAM manager. We're going to start a new job again. We're going to set up the stock as a fixed box size, and this is a good check to see that we've done this correctly. You can see that somehow there was a little error made. I'm not going to worry about it because we're talking about a 1/1000th off. This dimension should be 1.5 by 14. Somehow that box got drawn a 1/1000th oversized. So that looks good. If yours is more than that, we wouldn't want to do something about it. The next thing we want to do is select our milling operation, and this is a 3D milling operation, and it's a scallop operation. The first thing we want to do is go back and select that ball end again. So I went to sample libraries. I'm going to type in 0.5 and make sure we get the ball end mill. And if you remember, we came in and upped our RPMs to 15,000, and we upped our feed rate to 60 inches per minute. Make sure those numbers match, that's important. Next tab is our geometry tab, and I'm going to select the lines that represent the bottom again. So I'm going to select this line. Be careful you don't select the surface. This line, this line, this line, and this line. And I need to select some surfaces to ignore. So I'm going to go down here to where it says check surfaces, and I'm going to ignore this vertical surface here and this vertical surface here. And you'll notice that down in here I have two faces that have selected under the checked surfaces. If I now hit OK, before we do that, we want to make sure that we have the step over correct. And I'm going for 1/10 of an inch, and now we can hit OK. If you did hit OK, you would notice that your blue lines were a little further apart. It's pretty easy to go back and edit that. You can just right click, edit that toolpath, jump over to this tab, and make sure that your offset matches. But we're good to go. It's always a good idea before you post a toolpath to run a simulation. So plus it's kind of fun. I'm going to hit play and watch the tool take the path. Looks like it's doing what I want it to do. And then if you want, you can also do that with the stock showing. If I click here to show the stock, it gives me a better idea of what it's going to really look like when it's cutting out that part. Okay, I think we're good to go. So that wraps up this one. Oh, I'm sorry, we need to post it just like we did for the last one. Post processor, it's going to be 0.5-bit ball end mill airfoil bottom this time for the file. Make sure you have your last name in there. Again, the tool changer is on. Shopbot for your post configuration. If you've Shopbot as B, and then the output folder, it should have remembered this from last time, but just to show you that we went through and located that in the Student Share, LOLHS, Mr. Derry Airfoil project, and we don't want to put it in the top, so I'm going to go up one, create a new folder, and we'll put it in Airfoil Bottoms. Oops. And so now that one's going into the bottom. Hit post again, save, and we get all of this code coming up. We can close out of that. We should be good to go. I'm going to hit save for that work, and that does wrap this up.